Soldiers of Reddit. What was something that was so funny even the drill sergeant couldn't help but giggle? Dude was told he couldn't trim his unibrow. If he did, he'd have to shave both eyebrows as well. So that's what dude did. Shaved it all. DS lost it laughing and then made the private report every morning to have them sharpied on with a new expression every day. Added, the best ones were when he was given 2 squares as eyebrows or a constant surprised look. And thanks for my first gold. I shall name him Philip. Someone in basic threw their half-eaten schnitzel into the toilet and tried to flush it. It didn't flush. He left. So we are all in our rooms as we hear one of our drills scream to get out and line up. We line up and he was one of the super serious guys. 190 meters tall. Easily 100 kilograms of pure muscle and always mean mugging everyone. He starts screaming at us telling us that we are pigs. No one knew what went on. Then he started yelling someone threw a ducking schnitzel into the toilet. As he finished he started smiling. First time in months I saw the dude smile. Everyone started laughing hard. He got angry again and started repeating himself. He starts laughing once he hits the schnitzel part again. We all laugh again. He just tells us we are dumbasses and someone better fish that piece of schnitzel out ASAP. From a friend at Air Assault. They were fast roping down off towers and there was one guy that was deathly afraid of heights but was still making his way to pass, and he was just standing there and the instructor yells something along the lines of stop being a pussy and go. He proceeds to jump into the rope, lose his grip and fall the entire way down while screaming Air Assault until he hit the ground. He broke his arm and had to go with the next class. You have about 30 seconds to unduck yourself starting 28 seconds ago. I don't know if that was an old saying amongst all of them or he made it up on the spot. But goddamn did I almost ducking lose it. Fort Benning. Drills were searching for contraband after a private was found with chewing tobacco. One of the DS got a broom handle and started pushing the ceiling tiles up to see if anything would slide out. A happy sock fell out and hit him in the face. The other DS walked off into the office. He was cough laughing the whole time. We were smoked into oblivion. Navy boot camp in Orlando, Florida in August of 1989. The company was split up in 2. On either side of the center line facing the front of the bay. Our company commander had us doing 4 count jumping jacks where we all had to clap on the 2nd and 4th together. It had to sound like one clap. There were 68 of us and even though we struggled, all of us eventually got it. Well, all of us but one. This poor guy just could not clap with the rest of us. He was eventually pulled up to the front of the bay where he would lead the exercise. At the last second. Every time. He would change his pace and ruin it. The company commander smiled throughout and eventually just keeled over laughing at this guy. It's funny though that I don't remember being angry even though we must have been doing jumping jacks for about 3 hours in 100-degree heat. I do remember that the only reason we quit was because the cement floor was too slippery with sweat to safely continue. OMG. I have the best story for this. Basic training. Some dude was getting a reprimand from the course officer because he was a bag of fail. He got briefed by the platoon sergeant beforehand to march to the door, salute the officer, and wait to be instructed what to do. But this guy was as dumb as a brick. So he marches to the door and stands there looking stupid. The sergeant waits a good long while hoping this kid will clue in. And nothing happens. Finally he yells at him, well, aren't you going to pay compliments to the officer? And numpty stammers for a bit and finally chirps out, you're looking really nice today, sir. Sergeant yells at him to GTFO and slams the door and the entire course staff nearly die from laughter. It took an hour for us to stop laughing long enough to call him back and actually give him the reprimand. I was on the floor with tears in my eyes. 4 years afterwards. Anytime we would see that officer we would stop him to tell him he was looking nice. It never stopped being funny. Not a soldier but an airman. Hopefully you still like the story. We are out on the pad standing in formation waiting for breakfast just like any other BMT morning. We are at the end of our training, so the MTIs tend to not harass you as much in your last week or so at basic. Our MTI has a doctor's appointment or something, so he has a female MTI in the squadron we have seen from time to time watch us while he is gone. So she takes us all from parade dress to attention and addresses the dorm chief, lead trainee position in the flight. He lets out the fatal response of "yes sir" to whatever the duck she said to him. She's a petite athletic looking redhead and would not be mistaken for a sir. She gets right in his face as it leaves his mouth and starting yelling. "Ah, you make me so mad I just want to whip out my big dig and slap you across the face with it." I fired on. There were 3 other flights with like 20-40 trainees each, including their MTIs, immediately dying laughing. Even she only held it together for a few seconds of being angry red in the face before laughing. I think you would get in some serious trouble these days yelling great lines like that. Our sergeant liked to take his Smokey Bear hat and tap recruits on the bridge of their nose while yelling at them that he wasn't touching them. I happened to fall in behind him walking down the bay. He thought it would be a good idea to spin around and poke the brim of his hat into somebody's face. Hit me square in the chest. I'm 6 feet 6 inches tall. I can't even remember what he yelled exactly, but he was trying very hard not to laugh. Then spun back around and went into his office with the assistant TI. They started laughing so loud that we all heard it. Bay inspection day. The company first SGT and commander are going through each platoon's bay and checking everyone's sheet and casually grilling the recruits on the base's command tree. Our company first SGT goes to our platoon leader and asks him what position does Command Sergeant Major insert name hold in this base? It's a trick question. The answer simply being Command Sergeant Major. Anyways, the platoon leader hesitates before belting out something extremely retarded. I don't remember verbatim, but it was something similar to Command Sergeant Major insert name as the Star Commander Leader Chief of Fort Benning. First Sergeant. Everyone freezes. Even the drill sergeants don't even breathe. The company first SGT stares at this guy for like 20 seconds before muttering loudly, "You ducking retard," and shakes his head and leaves the bay. Doesn't even punish him. Even the DS is laughing and calling him a ducking dumbus. Was pretty excellent and everyone broke out laughing when they left. One time my ankles were legit hurting really bad. Cankles and new boots yay, so I asked the DS if I could go to the infirmary. He said yes. I said, "Thanks, dude." He laughed and said, "You know I gotta smoke you for that," and he did, but it was nice to see the human side for the first time. A master corporal was calling drill for us once and his voice cracked on the command. So he went from yelling in his normal kind of deep voice, "He was a big dude," to a loud shrill dude impersonating a woman kind of voice. Everyone took a second, but the other instructors for our platoon cracked and everyone just kind of laughed. That's what happens when men wear tights too often. Years ago while doing basic, during the course, you obviously have lots of drill training. Marching, standing at attention, at ease, turning, etc. We're all in the drill hall practicing away, when somehow one of the recruits lets out a high-pitched squeal and falls over. Dude managed to squish his nuts together somehow while coming to attention. All 3 instructors sprinted over and started jacking him up, and we're laughing so hard at the same time that they are almost crying. Not exactly a drill sergeant, but during basic training we were marching in formation when we suddenly hear a thump. Turns out one of our comrades dropped his helmet. Of course our instructor saw this and responds with, "Ein deutscher Helm fällt nur einmal, a German helmet is only dropped once." Pretty common military textbook phrase. He commands the soldier to pick up his helmet and we carry on marching. About 30 seconds later we hear the same sound again. So I turn around and ask myself how you can possibly fail the simple task of helmet retention. You basically just clip it to your carry rig, while already waiting to hear the instructor saying the same phrase again. What do I see? Our instructor turning around, doing his personal walk of shame and picking up his helmet. Let's just say we weren't short on beer when we celebrated the end of basic. When we were doing combatives, I made a Pulp Fiction reference because the guy wrestling kinda looked like Samuel L. Jackson and I caught one of the drill sergeants chuckling. All I said was, does Marcellus Wallace look like a rich lol? In Air Force BMT you have to carry this stupid flashlight with you when marching that had this yellow cone on it. One guy in my flight got tired of holding it, so he decided to have his belt hold it like a Jedi would have done with his lightsaber. Well, the instructor sees this and tells him that he has to quick pull out your lightsaber and fight Darth Vader right behind you, another trainee. Watching these two idiots have a lightsaber fight was the funniest thing I've seen, which must have been for my instructor since he walks away belly laughing at the two retarded Star Wars nerds. After a long and horrible 20-mile run in 100-degree temperatures, the DS leans way in towards one private who looks ready to die. I bet you wish I'd die just so you could piss on my grave. Right. No. Drill sergeant. And why is that? Cause once I get out of the army, I'm never standing in another line again. Drill sergeant. Navy Boot Camp 2008. We had a big Samoan guy in our division who loved singing Disney songs. This dude started singing A Whole New World in a shower with 80 other dudes and all of us started singing along. I can remember our RDC just shaking his head and grinning.